public art's done to do exactly what this does. It gets people to look at it and say, what's going on here, get them to think about it. You're going to get people, I mean, my own students came up and said, what is that? And they started talking about it.
They sending a message to the world.
One thing that really started to happen when I started to do the bird landings that was different than when I had just been making the birds is that I suddenly saw the shape really differently. Because suddenly I saw them from far away, I saw them silhouetted, I saw them how they did look or didn't look like birds, and the gesture of them, the silhouette of them made me want to run back into the studio and make ones that were closer to what I wanted.
Come out and look at these birds. Get on your knees and read what it says on some of these birds. It hits you right here.
It was funny how peripherally we looked at things, because we walked in and we looked out of the corner of our eye and we thought there was a flock of birds over there and kept eating, and then I looked and the same flock of birds were there in the same position.
You know, you see some of the faces of some of the children and whatnot, and then some of the scriptures. I don't know where you got them, but I mean, you got tomahawk missiles on this one. You got a little girl on that one. It looks like about from 1930s or 1940s, something like that.
This needs a little extra clay. I was just reading the thing that John Cage had written about rules for students and teachers, and it's funny how when you're working on stuff like this, you make up your own rules. One of the things he says is be willing to break all the rules, even the ones that you make up yourself. One of the reasons why I came here specifically, though, is because my father was a child in Peenemünde during World War II. It says, this is the entrance gate to the scientists' living quarters in Peenemünde. This is my dad wrote this. Note the bombastic Nazi architecture and the swastika. This is what it looked like before the air raid of August 1943. And then this one says, another view of the remains of our house. The buildings, except for the swastika, had been painted black to make them less visible from the air. It didn't work.
And what's your reason for being up here today?
This flock of birds is traveling and landing in different places all around the world.
Okay.
And so actually they've landed in about 30 different places in Santa Fe.
Really?
And then they, meanwhile, have gone a lot further afield. They've been to Central Park in New York, they've been to New Orleans, they've been all along the coast in California, and then this summer they were in Germany in a couple of places, and in France in front of Chartres Cathedral. And then they just came back from the Galapagos Islands.
Wow, you were there?
Yep.
You had to fly them, right?
Yep, I'm their wings. So.